Welcome back, everyone. Here we are, the beginning of 2020 already. I still am wondering where 2019 went, but never mind. Before I begin, I'll remind you, if you like, please click like and subscribe to my channel so I can bring you more videos to enjoy. Sorry. This is where we were at with this little one in as far as sculpting went. This is the body I'll be using on him or her. It will work out to be probably about an 8-inch baby. So we'll put the head aside for now, and we'll begin the limbs, legs and arms and so on. So keep the body somewhere where you can easily reach it, because I go by what I can see. I don't go by measurements, remember. We are going to need some aluminium foil, and we'll cut out another one. This was excess. So this is going to act as our armature. And excuse the sound of like I've got something in my mouth. That's because I have a cocktail in my mouth. Not because I've got a cold, thank goodness. Allergies have, yes, but we've had tremendous smoke here from the horrible bushfires that have been raging in Victoria and New South Wales and even Tasmania. Hopefully they will soon come to an end. So I've cut a piece about this big, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to cut it in half, or I just use a ruler, and it's easier done. So we are going to assume these are going to be the legs, and what I do next is simply roll the foil, and as you can see, this is going to be way big, way big for little legs, and these are 3/4 little legs, so just assuming you can see that. Probably could go half, but we'll check again. Now we've got that, and we need a foot, so that's going to be too small. So we're going to have to cut some off. We'll get our scissors, and I'll cut off, say, about that. So that will be that one. Do the same with the next one. Now when you're working on arms, legs, it's safest bet is to do the two of them at the same time, so that you can check the size, and they don't come out like one too much bigger than the other. So it's important to sort of, do them at the same time and have the right amount of clay on both, rather than guessing. So I'm just going to take off exactly the same amount as before, but I'm going to check again, because sometimes you can get fooled, and it is a little bit out. It doesn't really, that wouldn't have been neither here nor there, but anyway, we will be neat for today. Excuse me. So once you've got that far, you take hold of one end and you begin to twist, and this gives it a lot of support and less breakage when baking and so forth. So even by just the twisting, you can see that's come down significantly. Whoopsie. But I think it should be right. We can always adjust the clay. So I'm just going to do the same with the other one. Just twist it up. like so. And the good thing is that it's also bendable, so when you want to pose your little legs or arms, depending on what you're doing, you can do that without wire poking through if you were using wire to make the armature. Well, that's what I found anyway. Alright, so I'm going to estimate that the little foot's going to be about that. And I'm going to make the other one the same size, because we want both feet to be the same size. So at the moment, they're looking like, oh, I think that's going to be too small for that size body, but I don't think it is. And you can always extend if it is up the top. I've got a piece that I rolled out and was using yesterday on the little legs I was doing. So I'm going to start with this piece. I'm just going to take it, and I'll roll out more for the other. And I'm going to cut it in half. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to cut off the two corners, which gives you that. We'll put this one aside, and now we start with our foot. So I generally just do that, and then just bring it over and cover the foil and start to smooth it into shape. Oh, we've been having some very, very hot weather here, guys. Thankfully, we've got a cool reprieve at the moment, and I'm relishing it. Really, really love the cool weather as opposed to the excessive hot weather. Now, I can tell you just by the feel of this little one, it's not going to be quite as thick as I wanted it to. But that can be fixed, that's not an issue. I love chubby babies, so that's why I like to make them that way, but it's up to you. You can have babies that are not so chubby as well. Okay, so we did one foot, we go ahead and do the next one. Okay, so now this clay feels a little bit thicker to me, but it was rolled out the same way. It can happen sometimes, I suppose. Anything's possible. So basically just smooth out all the little seam lines and so forth. And make it look like the start of a little foot. This one actually feels thicker to the other one too, so I could be right in that it might have had more clay. It does not matter, because we can fix that. Okay. Right. Little foot on the way. Yep, you can see. And you'll be able to tell too, once you've had experience in making a few, just by the feel you'll be able to tell that one's not quite as big as the other. So to fix that, I'm just going to get some clay and condition it. I don't know if you can see over here, this is one that I was working on last night, and the leg is too long, so I will have to cut that down. It happens. So once you've conditioned the clay, I'd roll it out a bit. And this thin foot is here. So we're going to add more clay. And generally, my luck is that I add more clay to the one that needs it, and then find that the one that does need more clay afterwards. But, you know, eventually we sort it out. Okay. Getting there, getting there, getting there. just keep smoothing. Now this little foot feels better. And see, a lot of the work I do is also with my fingers as opposed to tools. Some people like to use tools more than their fingers. It's entirely up to you. When it comes to art, there is no right or wrong. There's just different. That's all. I think I've said this before. So what suits one person may not necessarily, we need more on this little foot now, may not necessarily suit another person. What's important, I suppose, at the end of the day, is the eventual finished product. And if you're happy with it and how it looks, and you're honest with yourself, then that's all that matters. If you're not, then, you know, there's no use throwing your hands up in the air and saying, well, that's it, not doing this one again, not for me. Well, you can do that. You won't get far. It's a matter of, there's a saying, good, better, best, never let it rest till your good is better and your better's best. So I live by that, and I'm not one to easily give up. If I really like doing something, I'll make it work for me eventually.